Hello everyone, I'm Iris from Iris Impressions Art, and this is a video in which I am making a big announcement about my Patreon membership and share some important details about this big announcement. First of all, a couple of admin things. This video is primarily for my existing patrons so that they know what's going on and understand what they need to do if they need to do anything. However, I'm putting it here on my YouTube because I thought that it's actually relevant information because I'm making these changes. For anybody who would like to sign up to my Patreon, wants to know what it is, maybe wants to join the free tier or wants to pledge to an actual money tier. It's all relevant information, so that's why it's here. If you are not a patron at the moment and you are interested, please keep watching. If you are not a patron and you are not interested, then please go and enjoy a cup of tea or something and a different video. If you would like to read the information contained in this video in a written down post, then find the link in the description and you can read things at your leisure if you want to just read a summary of everything that I am telling you here. First of all, I want to say a big thank you for all of my patrons who have supported me over the last 2.5 years, both continuing ones and people who have dipped in and out or people who have just been patrons for a short time. I really appreciate all of you and the support that you've given me. I love the fact that I've created this little art community, that I've shared so much content, that we've been interacting with each other, just specifically knowing that there are people out there who relate to creativity in the same way, who want to think about creativity and the creative process in a similar way as me, who are interested in exploring the questions that don't necessarily have answers and the blocks that we come up against and all of those things. I just feel so grateful. That's the thing that is just really amazing about having a Patreon. Also, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for putting up with all of the word vomit philosophizing that I do a lot in my vlogs and my podcasts. It helps me so much to have an outlet for all of these thoughts and to know that they are witnessed and appreciated and understood and related to is a huge thing for me personally and just for me as an artist. So thank you. I also really love the ongoing nature of this type of sharing, of having a Patreon, of building this kind of legacy of my own creativity and my own discoveries. It's really exciting to have a platform that can evolve as I evolve, as my art evolves. It's really exciting and it gives me a lot of confidence to just kind of keep doing and keep changing without a fear of penalty. I hope that makes sense. Now I want to briefly talk about creativity, Patreon, and simplification because that is the crux of the reason for the change that I am making to my Patreon. So for me, it's really important that my Patreon works in synergy with my creativity. What I mean by that is that I want my reason for posting on Patreon to be my creativity, as opposed to that the reason I am being creative is the fact that I need to post something on Patreon. I hope you get the difference of direction. One starts with creativity and then the creativity goes on Patreon. The other one starts with Patreon and then the creativity needs to come after. And I don't want that way. I want the first way. For a while now, I have wanted to simplify the membership tiers and specifically the way that I create and share content. So I really love sharing my creativity with you, both on Patreon and also on YouTube, but I don't love being a content creator and all the associated rigidity of creating specific pieces of content at specific times. I just really want to share my creativity as it comes up without any boxes, even if these are boxes that I am making myself. I am very well aware of this. And I also want to share all of this with as many people as possible. Okay, so here's the big announcement. To this end, I have decided that going forward, all tiers are going to receive all content. Mic drop. That might make you wonder, why would I still need different tiers if all the different tiers are going to have the same content? I could just have one tier, right? Well, the thing is, a Patreon is all about having this dialogue between artist and patron. And I want to have different tiers with different price points so that people can choose the level of support that they want to give. And I'm going to tell you in a second how that is going to work specifically for the tiers, but this is the main principle. I know, or I don't know, but I am worried that I might be completely shooting myself in the foot with this, but I know that the idea of creating any content I want and sharing it with all patrons, it gives me such a feeling of freedom and expansiveness that I haven't felt for a while. So I just know that it's the right decision. I've had the inkling of wanting to do this for over 6 months, and I've been umming and ahhing and like feeling like I need to talk myself out of it because, oh, what if it's the wrong decision? But knowing that I have that whisper at the back of my mind saying, this is actually really what I want to do because it feels so good, makes me sure that doubts equal fear, and doing it will just be what I need right now and how I want my Patreon to be right now. Right, so the next part of the video is going to be practical. So I just want to talk about some practicalities in terms of the changes that are going to happen and the things that you need to do if you need to do anything. Going forward, I am not going to be offering physical rewards anymore. There will no longer be any tiers that receive things in the post. But I will still be doing shop updates, so there will still be merch, there will still be opportunities to get my original art. It's just not going to be part of my Patreon anymore. If you are on one of the physical tiers, thank you for your support over the last 2 years. I have loved sending stuff in the post to you, and I really hope that you will continue to enjoy the digital content. Next, tier names are going to change, and they will no longer be indicative of what is included in the tier. I will come up with some fun new tier names, and they're just going to be fun and not related to what's inside the tiers because the tiers are all going to include similar things, right? The content is going to be pretty much the same. I'm still going to be making videos, vlogs, podcasts, printables, occasional workshops, and they will all be shared, but it's going to be a bit more flexible. So rather than what it is now is like, okay, I post 2 vlogs a month and 2 art videos a month and a digital download a month, and it's going to be much more flexible depending on what it is that I'm working on at that point in time, what I feel like sharing about at that point in time. It's going to be less rigid topics, because it's just really important to me that whenever I have an idea of like, oh, I want to share this in a video, that I just go on and do it and not feel like, oh, but actually I have to make this in this video first before I can go and do the idea that I'm excited about. I want to just roll with it and do the thing that I'm excited about and share it with you. And that's the main reason that I'm making this change, to be honest. So if you are a current patron, what do you need to do right now? If you are on a tier of £5 and above, then I have good news for you. You don't have to do anything in order to continue receiving digital content on a monthly basis into your inbox. Oh, and by the way, all of the content on Patreon is ad-free, so that's nice. You may even see more content than before. If you want to change your tier, i.e. the pledge amount that you pay every month, then you are free to do so at any time. Just make sure that if you want to receive all of the content, you must be on a £5 or above tier. What you need to do if you are currently on a pledge level of £2.50, that is the lowest tier that is available on my Patreon. This tier is going to turn into the tip jar tier. It will still have some perks, but it will not have exclusive content. So the monthly podcast will move to the higher pledge levels. So you're welcome to stay on this tier, you're welcome to move to the free tier, or you're welcome to move to a higher tier for more content. The other pledge levels are going to have differing discount codes. So although all of the different pledge levels from £5 and upwards are going to have all digital content, the perks are going to be slightly different, and they will relate to how much money you pledge. So the higher tiers are going to have a higher discount percentage code. I hope that makes sense. Just one note about legacy content. Old content is still going to be specific to the old tiers. So going through all of the old content and making it accessible for all tiers would be an admin nightmare because there's hundreds of posts, and I also feel like it wouldn't really be fair, like it wouldn't feel fair to me. So if you want to have access to all archive content from before December 2023, so all vlogs, all art videos, digital downloads, and courses since I started my Patreon, you have to make sure that you are on a £10 or above tier. But just to reiterate, for any content going forward, £5 and above tier, you're good, you're gonna get it. Okay, let me just summarize these points. The big change announcement is that all tiers, except the tip jar tier, are going to be receiving all exclusive digital content going forward. All of these changes are going to apply from the 1st of December 2023. If you would like to access all content going forward, make sure that you are pledged to a tier of £5 a month or above. If you would like to access legacy content from before December 2023, make sure that you are on a tier of £10 or above. Higher tiers will give a higher shop discount percentage. You are completely free to change tiers at any point in time for whatever reason. You know, I am just grateful for any support that you are willing to give, able to give, and I just love hanging out with you and sharing with you. For now, there will no longer be any tiers that give physical rewards in the mail. Finally, I just want to say I appreciate your support so much. Thank you so much for being my patron and for having supported me over the past few years. I hope you will continue to do so. If you are not currently a patron, I really hope that you will consider joining. There is a free tier where you will get some early access content and you can kind of check out whether it's something that you would like. And I just also want to say that as an artist who shares their art online and tries to make a living doing this, I just want to say that any support that you can give, even without money being involved, is super appreciated. When you click that like button, when you watch content, when you subscribe, all of those things make a massive difference. And I just want to say thanks. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, either as an existing patron or as a non-patron, I really welcome any questions that you may have, and go forth and be creative.